This will surely mean the end of his career, and he represents a generation that is disappearing, but well, disappearing slowly from cycling. And the younger riders are really what it's all about. And we will.
Yes, I think a lot of the riders, when they retire in the past, you know, they had so many years of biking, and I suppose, you know, difficult times, you know, they got away from biking. They had a little bit of, you know, a head full of it, and for a number of years didn't touch the bike at all. I continued on. I enjoyed it, you know, riding the bike at a more leisurely pace. Of course, when you come from the professionals and then you start, you know, riding for leisure, I enjoyed it all the time, and I continued, and I still do. But a lot of the professionals that stop for 5 years, 7 years, they come back. Most of them come back later and get into biking.
The Giro d'Italia, from Cilandro to Cime de Lavaredo, the highest point of this year's Giro d'Italia. This stage has been badly affected by the weather in terms of route management, but we've had a great race today. 4 riders out front have really put it up to the peloton. Now their advantage, though, is down to 3 minutes and 5 seconds as we head towards the first of 2 classified climbs on the day.
Pulling out the advantage to the 2 chasers there, Betancourt and Rigoberto Urán, and we can see Cadel Evans, we can see the supporters there getting a bit over anxious with Nibali. He just pushed them off a bit, but at least they're not pushing them, which is the good thing. Sometimes they want to push you, and that's what you do not need, because you can get, you know, a fine for that. But Cadel Evans doing a great job here. I suppose the interesting thing is, for the young jersey classification, we have seen that the leader there has slipped off quite a bit, and he's not up there. Mike he's disappeared, and Betancourt, of course, want to push on here, as we can see the two AGR men. Is it no, just one?
No, just one. Is that
Mike is?
Yeah, it's Rafael Mike, I think,
Mike
just
is
behind
still
him.
here. Yes, he's coming back also. That Pelizzotti?
Yeah, Pellizzoli was in there for Androni Giocattoli. Meanwhile, these 2 Colombians have still got a decent advantage, and they've both got things to race for. Rigoberto Urán racing for second place ahead of Cadel Evans, who's chasing behind in the distance in the red and black colours of BMC. Up front, Vincenzo Nibali piles it on. 1,300 metres to go, and just a little moment there on the inside. Let's hope the spectators can stay away from Vincenzo Nibali. This climb was rendered meaningless back in 1967 because of all the pushes, and it's just terrible when you see the spectators feeling that they have to put a hand on the riders. As Cadel Evans pushes on, Pozzovivo of AG2R closes down, but Betancourt, the man on the left here for AG2R, riding towards the white jersey of the leader of the Young Riders classification. His companion, Rigoberto Urán, riding towards second place. He needs to find 10 seconds to Cadel Evans to move into second position. So there's battles throughout the mountain. This the battle. And here goes Urán. Duarte had managed to drag himself up. So 3 Colombians chasing Vincenzo Nibali. 3 Colombians pushing on, but they can do nothing about Vincenzo Nibali up in front. Apparently not anyway. Still a kilometre left to ride, though. That's a long, long way in these conditions. Duarte looks as if he's struggling. Betancourt not enjoying the gradient. Rigoberto Urán is a young man, but he looks he'll age on this hill today. Inside the final kilometre for the race leader, the overall race leader, the stage leader, Vincenzo Nibali. Cadel Evans grinds away on that gear, desperate to try and get back in contention with these riders, because the man on the front here, Rigoberto Urán, is threatening to take over his second position. Three Colombians. Colombia famous for their mountain goats. They're wonderful climbers over the years, and they have a rich crop of talented riders, but was that 50 seconds I heard in my ear? The gap between the man up front and the left-hand side of your screen, Vincenzo Nibali, and the 3 men chasing him, as Cadel Evans pushing hard, and Damiano Caruso's on a good day for Cannondale. 32 seconds now is the official gap, so misheard that one. But still, it's a handy advantage. Half a minute to the good for Vincenzo Nibali. He's taken 4 stage victories. And 1 minute and 5, we understand, between Nibali and the Scarponi group, including Cadel Evans. So that would suggest around about half a minute advantage for Rigoberto Urán over Cadel Evans. So no doubt about it, Cadel Evans is going to slip into third position. And now Evans is struggling to stay with Scarponi, Niemitz, Pelizzotti. Conditions absolutely abysmal on the Tre Cime de Lavaredo.
Yes, just horrible conditions, and everybody suffering because of the conditions they've been in for the final 25 kilometres, 30 kilometres. The cold has got into a lot of riders, and we can see, you know, they're not going as they normally would on a climb like this, but everybody is in the same situation. The cold is really, you know, hitting everybody, but Nibali, you know, he's proven the strongest here again, just riding away from everybody. And we did forecast that a bit with the advantage he has in the general classification, the way he's been riding the last number of days. Not surprising that he's going for this stage victory. You know, this is a very important one as race leader to win this, you know, big mountain stage. Although some of the mountains being taken out, will still be looked at as, you know, one of the big stages of this Giro.
Yeah, he really wanted it. Inside the last 400 metres now for Vincenzo Nibali, and thankfully we've had pictures all the way up to the top of the hill. He's inside the final part with the stationary cameras, and horrific conditions, but wonderful to see so many spectators on the Lavaredo cheering on these stars of cycling, who are delighted to be able to deliver such an entertaining race and a wonderful stage. And for Vincenzo Nibali, I think it's really important for him that he's been able to demonstrate in a mountain top finish that he is the man of the race.
Yes, and unfortunately, you know, yesterday's stage not going on for him. He would have had an opportunity yesterday and again today if it had been a big mountain stage, but you know, to do it in the circumstances and when you're the race leader, it's always important. And the rider himself, you want to prove that to the best one and win a time trial first of all, which he has done, but win a big mountain top finish, a big stage, it's also of major importance.
Vincenzo Nibali now almost within sight of the finish line at the top of the final climb of the Giro d'Italia of 2013. It's the Cima Coppi, the highest point that this year's race reaches, and the Colombian triumvirate, the combined ranks of one of the great climbing nations, not able to do anything about the race leader. The home favourite, Vincenzo Nibali, grinds on towards glory. Meanwhile, Cadel Evans, well, just desperately trying to limit his losses. It's been a great race for Cadel Evans, but not equal to the task, unfortunately, today. But Vincenzo Nibali looks behind. He can barely see more than 10 or 15 yards, but he knows that he's taken the victory as Vincenzo Nibali takes stage 20 of the Giro d'Italia at the top, the summit of Tre Cime de Lavaredo. And now 3 Colombians fight it out for second position. Which one of them is going to get it? Will it be Duarte that comes across the line? It's almost impossible to tell, ahead of Rigoberto Urán. So great result for the Colombian team, but not the stage victory they would have liked. And Carlos Better stage results. Vincenzo Nibali takes that road stage victory that he wants. Back-to-back stage wins for the race leader, ahead of Duarte of the Colombian team. On any other day, it would have been a glorious success for Colombia. Rigoberto Urán and Carlos Betancourt make it 3 Colombians in the top 4. What about that performance from Fabio Aru of the Astana team in 5th? Pelizzotti, his first big result of the race, in 6th position. Pozzovivo Caruso comes up with